Okay, beautiful. Good morning, you amazing people, guys. It is Wednesday. It's Pounds for Breakfast. We are midway through the week. We've had a killer of a day yesterday. If you're with us, you were inside our social area. We absolutely smashed it across the park, right? Now, again, this is all part and promise of our brand new social area, of getting the signals to the quality and the standard that I believe it can be. Now, we are starting off mostly with a scalping perspective. You'll see there'll be some swings in there, but we're going to be incorporating and robusting out the service over the coming weeks, right? We're trading throughout the month of December in totality, so it's just going to keep getting better. As I've explained, there's a lot of opportunities available for us in December. Now, this afternoon's Pounds for Breakfast is part of the free environment, right? So we will be speaking about this afternoon's Dollars for Lunch, rather. So we'll be speaking about a bunch of the events happening in December, what do you mostly look out for from a trading perspective, and so much more. But in case you missed it, let me just quickly go ahead and show you guys what obviously happened in terms of our summary for yesterday. So again, the whole purpose of the social area is to have super transparency, meaning as we post a trade, we will post a screenshot of where that trade is at. We will continue to update the trade until that trade is closed. The example would be yesterday's Bitcoin buy opportunity. Right, we posted the trade, the levels that you need to look out for, some trailing stops if you want to do some risk management on your trailing. So if you're busy, you want to set those levels, you want to walk away from your PC, carry on with life, and in between, you're more than welcome to go for that. And then the team will then give you these updates in terms of closing position 1, 2, 3, whatever the case may be, and then a summary for that trade in terms of what had then transpired. Right, now I do want to add in an exciting competition that every single week, right, we're going to be giving away $200 to the person that shares the most consistently of their trades on their live account. So at the moment here, I can see Quentin has shared here that he's shared, his buy position on Bitcoin. And again, you need to have a TD Markets live account in order to qualify for that. If you don't have a TD Markets live account, just simply go to anywhere on the social area and you can simply go on the community page right there. That link over there is a link to open up your TDM live account. Also down in the link in the description of this video. But every single week we'll be giving away $200, right, to the person who most consistently shares their screenshots on the trades that we issue. And again, you can even do that in the summary, right? So if you want to stand a chance to win in the summary, if you took any one of these trades, you're welcome to pop that in the summary there, and the team will look through that. The person who is the most consistent at the end of every week, that's $200. We'll give that to you. It's not going to your live account, it's not going anywhere else. It's going to you. You can choose what to do if you want to put that in your live account and use it to fund your trading journey right here with DVDM Markets in partnership with TD Markets. Right. So that's just a quick shout out. Massive setup for yesterday. Guys, I just want to give this some perspective before we speak about the markets and what's busy happening there. We're going to wrap this up really quickly because I am running a little bit late this morning. Right. When we talk about 367 pips, right, on FX and commodity related pairs, often on indices, we can have 1,000 pip trade. Right, when we talk about 367 pips of pure profit, that's after losses that were taken, right? 367 pips of profit, that is probably in the region of about 3,600 pips from an indices perspective, okay? Now, I just want to point out to you guys that even at a 0.10, right, which is a small trade, right, that's $367, that's 5,000 Rand for a single day worth of trading. Now, you can go ahead and you can do the maths here, right? But if you have 22 trading days in a month and you're making 5,000 Rand a day, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to do the math to show you that this is where things are at and this is where the next level's at. Now, again, the free environment will give up to 500 pips a week of trades, right? Once we hit that 500 pips a week level or cap, right, then all of our trades will then get redirected into Premium Plus, right? So if you don't know if you're in Premium Plus or not, right, if you have this option to have this little drop down here, that's where you get into Premium Plus. If you have Premium Plus, you'll be able to see it there, and you'll get a bunch more opportunities and a bunch more things happening within Premium Plus. If you're not yet a part of Premium Plus, it is super easy to be a part of. Now, I will be releasing a little navigational. There's a lot of people that are still trying to learn how to use our social area, but in essence, right, there's some tabs here to navigate. In terms of our community section, there's general discussions, there's Drippy Pips, which is just the signals on its own. There's news, any news publications that you need to know about, any competitions we have running. This will be here. Beautiful Miss Marsha Bart has got some really amazing Riddler competitions that get you some free access into Premium Plus, etc. However, if you want to get into Premium Plus, you jump into the classroom, right? There's a section on what is Premium Plus, how to get into it, etc., how to unlock everything. You can go into that, and that's part of our Learning Academy, and you can literally just go in and then pretty much click on Premium Plus, which is just a little bit. Just want to really scroll down. There we go, which is Premium Plus over there for less than $1 a day, right? So I get a lot of people asking how they get into Premium Plus. Super simple, and there's an explanation of what really goes down in terms of Premium Plus, right? What do you get, what you don't get, etc. Now, I'm stating this because I get a lot of questions every single day. The same questions of people asking, right, how do I get Premium Plus? In addition to that, you'll see here that dollars for lunch in terms of our live trading sessions, that happens on Wednesdays only. Now, we are going to be picking this up quite a bit, right? Extending it just from a little show, just about what you need to know, what's happening in the world, what's happening in the markets, to a full-on live trading sessions, right? So as we develop the rest of the systems, as we get more time to reallocate into other parts of the business, we will then obviously have these live trading sessions extended. So we might be doing 3-4 hours of trading in the afternoons. You're part of, if you're a Premium Plus client, you can jump in with us, jump in, place trades, ask questions. It's almost like we get to have our own little trading room online together, right? So that's just a quick one. I wanted to touch on that because I thought there was a lot of questions. A lot of people wanted to know what's going on, how they get involved, etc. Right. So now that we've got that covered, now that we've got that done, now that we've got that dusted, quick shout out to Lucky in the comments below. Let us know where in the world you are at, where you are joining us from. If you're watching this after the fact, there's no problem with that. We like to get these recorded. These are live, nice and early. Allow you to watch them whenever you want to, right? So top article for today, you're not going to pretty much be able to get around anywhere in the financial markets without seeing this, is that Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's longtime partner, has died at the age of 99. Now, it doesn't matter where in the finance world you look, you will continue to see this. And he was a legend. It's definitely worth taking some time just to read up on some of the things he's achieved with Warren, just some of the things he's done at Berkshire Hathaway. It's very easy to think that Warren is obviously, you know, the be all and end all in terms of Berkshire Hathaway, but you know, as Warren pretty much has self-described, Charlie has been instrumental in everything that they've done. So some pretty amazing guys, some pretty amazing ideas, very controversial ideas. If you listen to some of the things he believes in and does not believe in, he's very blunt and straightforward about his investment beliefs in the market. So definitely worth reading up and just having a look at that. Now, in terms of some of the fundamentals for today, we just have some gross domestic product on the dollar coming out at 3:30 this afternoon. As we saw yesterday, in terms of that CB consumer confidence, that item didn't really move markets. In actual fact, markets decided to do what they wanted to do, even regardless of that data. But the gross domestic product does have an opportunity to move markets. Now, just also side note, people may be saying, but GDP for Q3 of 2022, I mean, surely we, you know, already almost wrapping up Q4. So what does that mean? So you just need to understand that when it comes to the GDP releases, right, we end up getting 3 releases for the same quarter, right? So I'll refer here to Q2, right? And Q2 means essentially from the 3rd month to the 6th month of a year, right? We get a preliminary 1, preliminary 2, and then a final. All right, so we are only on preliminary 2 for that quarter release. Almost once the 4th quarter is wrapped up, do we get that final number? And this will be a reading that economists will use. It'll stimulate the dollar, and we just want to watch out for any sort of surprise movement here, right? So below 4.9 will be bad for the dollar. Again, above 4.9 will be good for the dollar. So that's just a general guide there. But again, we are sticking to price action all the way through. We're ignoring a lot of the fundamentals at this moment because, again, markets are currently busy being driven by a bunch of other factors that aren't really even fundamentally driven, right? At the moment, markets are super excited. The rallies that we're seeing is all fueled by investor optimism and just general optimism in the markets, right? The dollar's been too strong for too long, and the dollar's now paying that price, and markets are regaining back some of those losses we've seen over 2022 and even a little bit over 2023. So what is happening in the markets? Well, there's a ton to speak about. However, I just want to point out one thing in particular, right? If there's one trade that you should not miss in this next week or two before this year ends up or wraps up, it's going to be this one here behind me, right? So I want to show you guys gold, and I want you to just have a look at gold on a weekly time frame, and I want you just to see the type of levels, these spikes that gold has had into these zones, right? And primarily we're talking about that 2080, 2070, 2060 zone, right? And primarily those three, that band of about $20 or $30 represents basically a resistance level for over 2 years on the price of gold. Now, if you're looking at a smaller time frame, you may miss this completely, but I really want you to have a look at this, right? Now, if we mark off that very first resistance that sits in August of 2020, right, we're going to see that going to come in almost square in on the psychological level of that 2075, 2080, right? If we mark off the January, February, March of 2022 level, you're going to see that we're going to come in at that 2070 level. If we mark off that high that was in May of this year, right, you're going to see that we should be coming into that 2060 level. So between 2060, 2070, 2080, we've got these stop off zones, right? Now, if we forecast that in terms of where could this next resistance level be, right, in increments of $10 notes or $10 steps here, you can also very clearly see that we're very likely to face some sort of headwinds on the price of gold, not too far from its current location, right? Drop down to a daily time frame, and you'll see that that's going to be probably around that 260 mark, right? So I'm very curious whether we see that resistance level, and even then, if we look at that total band, right, that complete band and price of gold from a swing trade perspective, right? I just want to show you guys this. If we're looking at a scalp trade, right, and we issue, a trade at this level, and there's a 200 pip stop loss, right? If we talk about the total band here, 200 pips in gold, that's a lot, right? However, if we consider that we can make a new low, as we've done in the past, right? Because if you have a look at the price of gold, we've made a resistance low, made a resistance new low. We've made this next resistance. We haven't yet broken into a lower low, but it's very likely that we can make another hit on resistance and break into a new low territory. Then we do have some legs on this to potentially, even if we just make an equal, in the region of about 4,000 pips on gold, right? So 200 pips to potentially make 4,000. That's a 1 to 20 risk reward ratio there. So we're risking 200 pips to make 4,000 pips on price of gold. Now, there's not going to be a lot of people that will be able to hold this and have the stamina and patience to hold this out, but I just want to point out there's going to be certain price action indications around these levels we do want to pay attention to. Now, it very well may land up that December can prove as a perfect sweet spot or turning point for the price of gold, and I just want you guys to remember that. Now, quickly having a look, and we touch on US 30, US 100, because I don't want you guys to miss this. Right, US 30 was making some headway this morning, making into some of these resistance zones. We saw a bit of a gap last night, early hours of the morning. Gap was closed up. We bounced off and made some of these resistance levels. Now we've got a pretty clean price action formation here, right? In terms of a support level, right? Primarily just off this last little run that US 30's had. This is on 1 minute time frame, super small scalping time frame. I just want to point that out. In addition to that, I want to point out something very strange we've seen redevelop over the past couple days. Now, if you guys remember, previously we were looking at the golden nugget at 9 a.m. right? The golden nugget started to shift and get a little bit confusing, moving towards 10 o'clock, moving towards 8 o'clock, etc. I want to show you guys something really quickly. Now, it's just a bonus, right? If you start to have a look at the volume, right, that we're starting to get in every day, right? So again, down here below is volume. You can add this on your phone, you can add this on your PC, whatever the case may be. Right, you can see that markets are quite thin until we hit that 9 a.m. mark, right? 9 a.m. on the charts on TD markets is 9 a.m. in real time. I want you to have a look at this. We're starting to see the golden nugget come back to markets and to life at 9 a.m. on the dot. Have a look at where markets start to volume and ramp up, and then we see markets start to break down. So example, yesterday we saw breakdown of around about 570 pips. We look at the day before, right, and we just go to that 9 a.m. mark, right? We see markets are super thin, markets aren't really doing anything of substance, then what happens as we see volume starts coming over there, boom, we see markets open up and we see volume start to kick in at that 9 a.m. mark there, and we see markets then take off for another 500 or 600 pips. Now, there are some potential additions to this. I just want to point out there will be a golden nugget V3 trading. We'll go in through a bunch of details here. There's a few conditions we found. We found 8 a.m., 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. conditions. I just want to point it out and make you aware, and that's my job, is just to make you aware of things that are happening, that at 9 a.m. we may receive some price action formation or these breakouts here. So you want to be looking for, specifically on US 30, you want to be looking for a 35, I'd say 35,480, 35,485, 35,485 in terms of a buy breakout. Anything from a sell perspective, from a safe perspective, you want to be looking at least clearing out that last support level, and that's going to be reading at 35,455. All right, 35,455 or 35,485. Right, is kind of where you want to be looking at from a buy or sell perspective. Now, again, don't worry, if you're part of our social area, you will have drippy pips, meaning we will issue this as and when it pops out, it will pop through. Now, again, you don't have the application installed, guys. You want to get the app installed, right? Simply go onto your Play Store, go into your iOS store, and you want to go and look for school. First and foremost, before you get that installed, you want to make sure you are registered. So down the link below, register on our social area, and you want to go ahead and look for school, right? SKOOL. Download that, enter the credentials that you've given when you register. Again, it's absolutely for free. And then at least via the app, you'll receive notifications. And the same way you see it on your PC is the same way that you will see it on your phone, on the app itself, right? So super cool, very intuitive, and just great to have at your fingertips. Again, everybody's used to trading off of Telegram. Telegram's great, Telegram's simple, it's messy, but Telegram's old school, and Telegram is the past, right? We are the future. Get into the future, jump into the future, live in 2024 today, and download school, log in, register with us. Now, we are going to be taking things from level to level every single week. Again, we're ramping up, we're getting better, and every single day we're improving on the systems and the quality that we are sending out there. Go ahead and share this with somebody out there that needs to understand or wants to understand a little bit more about the markets, who wants to understand and get some education, which is world-class, wants to get trading opportunities daily delivered, that they can understand why we're doing what we're doing, that gets live broadcasts, that gets a social community, that gets mentorship, that gets competitions, all these other things in one place, and it's absolutely free. Go and share the love with somebody else out there. Until I see you guys all a little bit later this afternoon, dollars for lunch at 3 o'clock. We're going to look at some live opportunities. Stay tuned, because in the course of the day, we will be sending trades directly into the social area. Outside of that, guys, you know the drill. Be safe as always, trade safe, and until I see you a little bit later, goodbye.